NSJT, no secrets, just truth. We cannot and we will not wait. We cannot wait until someone else decides to do something. We cannot wait for the promise of others, but we must promise ourselves that we will move in a direction of power, that we will move in a direction of faith. We cannot wait for another generation to come along and do our work. We cannot wait for faith to recede, but we must replenish the faith that we already have. We must be determined to move forward. We must be determined to see our destiny. We must be determined to live a life of joy, to live a life of peace, to live a life of love. For it is a birthright and not a gift of the popular. We, as human beings, are so blessed for the Father above us that loves us for who we are. We cannot forget the journey that we have taken. We cannot forget the road that has led us to this moment. We cannot sit by idly and watch the world go into decay. We cannot be those who are naysayers. We cannot be those who stand on the sideline gossiping, pointing fingers. We cannot be those who are serving the synagogue of Satan, but we must serve the highest master of them all, the highest angel of them all, the master creator, the Lord God himself. We cannot wait for someone else to do the duties that we should be doing. We cannot wait for someone else to feed the homeless. We cannot wait for someone else to sit by the sides of those who have been sickened by multiple illnesses. We cannot wait. We cannot wait until it's too late to turn back the tide. We must begin turning back the tide now. We cannot wait until Judgment Day to sort out who is righteous and who is not. For by a man's deed, he is known whether he is righteous or not. By the fruit that he bears, he is known whether he is righteous or not. And if he bears good fruit, we cannot wait. We cannot wait to share that fruit with the world. We are in perilous times today. So much is going on in our world. Our children are suffering from our inaction. Our communities are suffering from our inaction. Our families are suffering from our inaction. We must defend and stand up for the rights of those who have been discouraged. We must give them what is left of our courage so that we may be able to stand as one and say that today is the day that we break the bonds of slavery. Some will say that we are not slaves, but when we look at the news, when we look around the world, when we look at our own lives, we are slaves to a mentality that we wait on others to do the job we were sent to do. I say to you today that there are young girls who have laid raped, molested. There are young boys who have been raped, molested, turned away. We must protect them. Our creed is not a creed of jealousy or envy. Our creed is not a creed of denial or judgment. Our creed is a creed of love, hope, peace, and faith. We can no longer wait for those who claim to be saints to come out into the streets. We must come out into the streets now. Our voices must rise now. We must speak the truth now. We cannot wait. We cannot wait for those who are just standing in the way of progress, standing in the way of the will of God. We cannot wait. We cannot wait until the end. For us who believe in an everlasting God, a living God, we know that we shall not perish, but we shall not condemn our neighbors. We shall not condemn our family. We should not condemn the world to the fate of death. We must stand here and now for those who are willing to change their life. We must give what we have, what little we have, to change the course of the world, to change the course of the day, to change the course of the future. We cannot wait. We cannot wait until tomorrow. We must do what we must today. We must speak with voices that shall echo in the hollow halls of men that God is the supreme ruler of us all. We must speak to those who deny us. We must speak to those who curse us. We must speak to those who believe that they are enemies of us, and let them know the truth, that who you come up against is God. For God fights our battles. Those of us who stand firm, those of us who believe that we are children of God, that we are the children of destiny, when others come against us, they are coming up against God, and no man, no entity can defeat God. We cannot wait. We cannot wait for the world to justify our movement. We cannot wait for the world to justify our beliefs, our faith, our morals. We cannot wait. For the storms of life is raging now. For the storms of life is going in a direction that we cannot go in. Who are we to follow the rain and the thunder and the lightning and then say that we have seen not the sun? The sun is on the other side. The journey will take us there. It will not be easy. It will not be popular. Many will fall by your wayside as you begin to move and march in the direction of the Lord by his will. But I am here today to tell you we cannot wait another second, another moment, another hour, another day. But we must move now. We must stand now. For those who have no voice, for those who have lost their way, for those who are sick, for those who hunger and thirst for the knowledge of God. For if we are to teach the gospel, we must teach the gospel of love. We must teach the gospel of truth. We must live the gospel of love. We must live the gospel of truth. We must stand and never sit. We must pray without ceasing. We must move forward and not backwards. We must believe that our greater days are ahead of us. Despite the pain and the sorrow and the shame of yesterday, Today is a brand new day, molded for us to do something magnificent with. He has given us two hands to be able to shape our future, to shape our hopes and dreams, to shape the dreams and hopes of others. He has given us the ability to allow us to pray, for him to hear us when we cry out in prayer, for him to know our heart when it is in trouble, for him to know our circumstances and move forward. Move forward with the cause, move forward with the decision of giving back the blessings that he has given unto us, unto those who deserve it. I say shame on those who call themselves Christians and yet lend not a hand to help. Shame on you who call yourselves Christians and saints of the Most High, but refuse to go into the ghettos, refuse to go into the slums and do the work of God. God did not sit upon his throne and leave us in chaos. He sent his only begotten Son to lay down his life so that we can have everlasting life and shall not perish by the fire or the second death. I say today that we can no longer wait for a leader to lead us, but we must follow the light that God has given us. We must follow the path that he leads us by our hearts and do something to change what is going on in our lives, in other lives, in the world. If we seek peace, we must bring peace. If we seek love, we must bring love. If we seek truth, we must live truth and speak it. Today is not a day that we sit and ponder whether it is our time to do what is right, but do what is right. Our generation is a generation of destiny. Our generation is a generation that will turn back the tides if we believe. If we believe, then we can change everything. Not just our life, not just who we are, not just what we believe, but we can change others. We can give them something they never had before. Hope. We can give them something they never believed that they was worth. Love. We can give them something they never heard before. Truth. It is our duty, our solemn duty upon our birth to follow the will of God and do his work. He will judge us by our deeds. He will judge us by our hearts. He will judge us by our minds. He will judge us by our steps that we take. So I say, let us take these steps forward. Let us not wait for the enemy to do one more thing, for the devil to do one more action against us. Let us put him out of commission now, today, this hour, this moment. Let us tell him that he has the wrong generation. Let us tell him that he has the wrong people, that he has come against the wrong nation, that we are one nation under God, that we can no longer wait, but we must press forward with the cause of justice, with the cause of love, with the cause of truth, with the cause of hope, with the cause of changing this world. We can do it as a generation. We can do it as a people. We can do it as an individual. We can do it one step at a time, one life at a time. I say we cannot wait. So we must go forward now. We must do the deeds of the Lord. Now,